Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Doron Lazarus on the line, and he's founder over at Lazarus Executive Sleep Consulting. Doron, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam, for having me. Great to be here.
All right, so excited to get into today's topic. So the importance of sleep for entrepreneurs and busy executives. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit more about what you're doing over at Lazarus Executive Sleep Consulting. Tell us a little bit more about your company, please.
Thank you very much. We are a one-on-one consulting firm that deals with busy executives, entrepreneurs, C-suite executives that have a struggle getting the right amount of sleep to perform their best. So we work with people all over the country who have sleeping issues, either not getting the right amount of sleep, not being able to follow sleep, waking up during the night, a lot of stress going on, and we really try to get them on their A-game so they can perform all day long.
Man, so I have to ask, so how did you kind of get into this business? Because I love what you're doing, and I just think it's just so needed because as we're going to talk more about how this affects how business owners and entrepreneurs are affected by lack of sleep. I mean, how did you go on this journey?
That's a great question. So I myself am a former insomniac, so I know what it's like to struggle with sleep. I have a background in psychobiology from UCLA, and it kind of turned, as I was struggling with my own sleep, it really turned a passion towards myself that I wasn't finding I was getting help from my psychologist, from a doctor's. Really, I feel that sleep is very poorly misunderstood by a lot of well-meaning people out there, and I really had to dig in deep and do a lot of research, I would say, outside the box of conventional sleep medicine to really cure myself. And I know for me how revolutionary that was. What an eye-opening experience to be able to get myself the right amount of sleep that I could be functional and thrive in all of my environments. And once I was able to do that for myself, I really looked at a world out there. We live in a very sleep-deprived generation, especially bright, driven, intellectual people tend to be the most sleep-deprived among us. And that's kind of where it turned my passion to be able to help others achieve their dreams at night and during the day. So that's how we got into it.
Oh man, I love it. That's a great story, and I love when somebody solves a problem for themselves and then becomes a blessing and helps others solve the problem also in their lives and provides value in that way. And I think that's a great transition. So the importance of sleep for entrepreneurs and busy executives. So once upon a time, growing up, I think, oh well, everybody needs sleep. Then I got into this entrepreneur world, and I found that some people don't think you need sleep. I mean, is that a myth? Give us some of this because. To me, it sounds ridiculous, but I talk to people all the time that feel that they can operate on these like ridiculously short amounts of sleep. So talk to us more.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think there was this kind of Superman myth in the 90s that, real executives don't sleep. Sleep is for withies, kind of that we're gonna really, just power through it. And the more hours you can put in, the more successful you're going to be. And I think really as the research came out, I'm not saying there aren't exceptions. There are prodigy exceptional individuals that can get 3-4 hours of sleep and, be up and running. But for the rest of us, if you're on a doubt whether you're one of those, you're probably not. And you definitely want to err on the side of getting more sleep, not so to say to be lazy, but to be able to be functional. That when you're putting in hours of work, when you're making top-level decisions, when you're having to communicate with people in very complex entities, you want to be able to be well-rested, and that's how you're going to be successful. Your successful day starts with a successful night the night before.
So there's a lot of people, and I don't want to oversimplify this because I know when you consult one-on-one, I know there's a lot of, it depends on the person. There's a lot of different variables here. But are there things that people listening right now that I'm a low-hanging fruit guy? So are there things that people that are listening right now can do to kind of improve their quality of sleep, like things that they can do like tonight?
Absolutely. I think it's definitely the first step is to be aware and cognizant. Like, ask yourself, because a lot of people don't even think about this. They push to the limit. They crash late at night. They wake up whatever time, and especially people with families under quarantine. Our sleep's oftentimes interrupted, and it's really worth taking stock. Like, ask yourself, right now I'm investing in my company, I'm investing in my entrepreneurship. How am I investing in my sleep? Where is my sleep holding? So today there's actually a lot of technology that you can do, not just sort of say to have a basic intuitive understanding, but there are actually rings out there, the Oura ring, the sleep on ring. You can actually get real-time results for what's going on in your sleep, not only how long you're sleeping, what is the quality, your oxygen levels, your restlessness. So I think the first step is for really people to be aware of that situation. Like, how is my sleep going? Many people have a struggle being able to fall asleep. Sometimes it takes them a long time to fall asleep. That's definitely something that there's a lot of evidence that we can work on to be able to make those transitions. And also a lot of people under so much stress, they're waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, not being able to go back to sleep. That's also a very common entity. So I really think that the first step for people is just to gain that awareness, do the research, find out what's going on, and really to be able to sit down and make a resolution that it's really important for the future of my family and my business that I'm sleeping successfully, and to be able to take the necessary steps to be able to do that.
Man, that's well said, and that's great advice. And now that you say that, I didn't even realize that I'd done that. So meaning I don't know when it was, maybe about a year ago or something like that. I just started wearing a Fitbit, and I didn't realize that I wasn't sleeping as much as I thought. Because I'm an entrepreneur too. I'm a business owner, so I just work, and then when I fall out. I go to sleep, but I wasn't really tracking, or I wasn't paying attention. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I should be sleeping more than that. And I was functioning, of course, and it's fine, but I also know that stuff can catch up with you, like, later on. And I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm healthy and here for, myself, my family, my team. I don't want anything, like, really bad happening. So I made a concerted effort. But had I not had a wearable, or if I didn't know, then you don't know what you don't know, right?
Right. And it's definitely worth, in addition to the nighttime of what we think we're getting sleep, to really ask yourself questions during the day. Do I feel fully alert? How is my memory? How is my mood? How are my energy levels? I just spoke to a guy last week who, 31-year-old guy, seems to be doing everything right, but he's, by like 8 o'clock, he's just exhausted. He can't keep his eyes open. He's, being tired during the day. So at that point, I said, well, maybe you might have apnea. Right? Apnea is a very undiagnosed condition where people are maybe getting the right amount of hours of sleep, but they're actually struggling for oxygen at night. Their sleep quality is very poor. Their body's constantly under stress while it's sleeping, and they're exhausted, right? So there's definitely a lot that really has to be looked into. If you're not finding you have energy, usually sleep is a culprit, and you really have to try to get to the bottom of things to make sure that you're able to fix that situation. I mean, apnea can be a very dangerous condition. It's really something that I work closely with all my clients to be able to rule out, because certainly that can be a culprit for a lot of issues.
Man, no, that's well said. So that being said, so Doron, if somebody is listening to this and they want more information on working with you and your team, and they want to see if they can get a better quality sleep, or even if they have a problem because they may be suffering from lack of energy. I mean, what's the best way for them to reach out and to learn more about your services?
Thank you, Adam. So you can reach out to me on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You can visit our website at lazarusconsulting.org. Doron Lazarus is a fairly unique name. There are not a lot of us, although there is one fellow with the same name in Australia. But besides for him, it's a fairly unique name, so you shouldn't have a problem finding him in social media. And please feel free to reach out with any questions. I always, offer a free consult to anybody who's interested, really out there to help and really want to try to make a difference.
That's awesome. Well, Doron, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about the great work you're doing to help our entrepreneurs and business owners and professionals out there to really take a serious look at their sleep, and what's ultimately going to make them more productive in their days, in their businesses, and their lives. So great work you're doing there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Doron, thanks again for coming on the show.